Hi, I'm Julie Torrens. I hope you're well today. Welcome. So I'm working in my little acrylic journal. It's a Diane Reevely uh, Dilutions. I'm trying to think of the name of it, Dialogue. So it's kind of a traveler's journal that I've just been doing acrylics in, and I just put out some phthalo blue. I wanted a blue that is just as plain of a blue, and I want it to go from one corner to the other. Not necessarily in a perfect straight line, obviously, but I want to kind of make half the paper blue and leave the other half white. So I'm just gonna fill this in as best I can. I do have some wax paper underneath because I knew I'd be, for this part, going, well, guess I'm making it a little bigger. I wanted to go off the edge with the blue, and I don't want to glue my book together. So that's why I'm using heavy-bodied acrylic from Liquitex. I'm not a sponsor or I'm not an affiliate. I like the acrylic paints. So why don't I buy the basics? The basics are fine. If that's what you have, of course, use it. I don't care what you have. If, whatever, the Americana paints or whatever, use what you have, apple barrel. But this is just of my collection of paints. This is one of my faves. I'm just trying to clean up this edge a little bit. There we go. And I'm trying to get where I've got some of the heaviest paint. It's already drying. That's the thing about acrylics. One of the many things I like about acrylics is I like that it does dry fast compared to oils. Now, if you're an oil painter, great. I never learned, I didn't take classes, and the classes I did take were acrylic. So that's probably why you'll find that most people's favorites are what they started with. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So what am I doing? Well, not sure. No, what I wanted to do is create some flowers, flower-ish, with flowers going up this way, and then these from the ground up will be a little bit shorter, and then some kind of like wisterias that come down from the top, and just kind of, take it from there. We're talking about fanciful, whimsical, not real. I've got a handful of brushes. I just took the ones that I guess I use most commonly. I've got 2 sources of water so I can get my brushes nice and clean. And I've got a variety of paints. So we started out with the phthalo blue. I've got some emerald green, which is as close to a plain old green as I have. I've got black and white. Then I've got 2 yellows. This one is cadmium yellow medium hue, and this is cadmium yellow light. This one doesn't say hue. It may have true cadmium in it. Cadmium is a poison, but it's really only a poison if you breathe it in, like if you would use it in a air gun, something like that. But the hue, that means that they've used something other than the real cadmium. I've got cadmium orange hue, and then I've got cadmium red light hue. Now, to me, cadmium red is orange, but much stronger. And like if you just take this and add white, you'll go towards orange rather than pink. That's just a Julie kind of a thing. But I wanted to have oranges and yellows for the flowers. I can change up their colors a little bit with white and black. And then the opposite on the color wheel from orange is blue. So that's why I grabbed the phthalo blue. So, and then green and yellow, kind of kind of related, you know, because yellow plus blue makes green. So these are just the colors that I picked. You pick your favorite colors. Now, I don't think I'm going to need these anymore, and they're so noisy that I'm going to take these off. I may need the clips. I'm not sure. It is a journal, so it's a book style. Yeah, I think I'm going to maybe put the clips down here. And can always move them around. I did gesso this page ahead of time because I just like the feel and the working of it. Hope you brought your coffee, because I brought mine and it's nice and fresh. Are you a coffee drinker or a tea drinker? I know that a lot of people are tea drinkers. I'm a decaf coffee drinker. All right, so tall orange flowers here, and then more like a hanging garden kind of coming from that side. I'm going to start, I think, with some of the leaves. So I'm going to get this green, and I want to use a couple of shades of green. So I'm going to give myself one. I don't need too much. It's either too much or too little, isn't it? All right, 2. Oh, please. There we go. There's, and then 3. And then I can change them up a little bit. Isn't this gloopy? There we go. There's nothing wrong with the paint. It is a thick, thick paint. All right, I'm going to grab some white, and I'm going to add it to this smallest amount. Ooh, I should start dark and go light. Okay, change of plans. I'm not going to add black. I'm going to add a little of this phthalo blue. I'll tell you though, anything with the word phthalo is powerful. It's a powerful pigment. If it's a true pigmented paint, which this is Liquitex, their fine line artist color, I think is what they call it. These say artist color. These say professional. So I don't know, pick your poison. And I'm going to start with a square brush. I am going to get it wet. Oh, it's the blue coming. I thought it's a dirty brush, but no, it's from the phthalo that we started with. This is awfully dark, more blue than green. All right, grab some of this extra green, a little more. Okay, let's give this a go. Got an awful lot on my brush. Okay. All right. I'm going to start with some leaves. And simple. Just simple. I like this color. I like pinks and magentas, and that's why I went with orange, because I just wanted to get out of that groove and give myself, the leaf is getting bigger and bigger as I try to smooth out this edge. It's heading into the seam of the book, and so it's acting a little unpredictable. And let's get one right up here. Those are good. I like those. Okay, I think I'm going to add some. I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to add some to the falling down ones as well. I think I'm going to change brushes, though. I'm going to go with the round brush. Like I said, phthalo is strong. Give it a double rinse. There we go. All right, I'm going to go with a round brush. This one. It says it's a number 5. Get it wet. And grab up some of this paint. And let's get started with some leaves coming down. All right, let's see what we got here. I just want little wiggly leaves. There go my brushes. Yep. I'm just trying to go like, and that didn't work here. Small, like wiggle, wiggle, small. Here, I'll try again. Wiggle, wiggle, small. Go big. Wiggle, wiggle, small. Like that. Yep. They almost look like pine cones, huh? Small, big, small. Can't even see them over here. I'm not going to put them. I mean, even I can't see them. I know you can't. So, it's okay. These leaves are going to be sort of in the shadowy in the back. All right. Yep, that's good. Now, I'm going to add some more leaves. I'm going to go, got my square brush again. I'm going to go into, turn it around. I'm going to go into this middle green, and I think I'm just going to use it as is. It's got a tiny bit of that phthalo in there, but we're just going to pretend like it doesn't. And get a few more leaves down here. You can definitely see it's a different color. I'm trying to ignore the seam and just put things where I want them instead of planning around it. That's my goal. What is on your work table or what's going on in your journal? Maybe you're working on holiday things, which is great. Let me know in the comments what you're working on. Maybe you created a little acrylic journal. That would be great. I'd love to see it. Love to see a flip through. I'm liking this. What I'm thinking is that, you probably think, what are you thinking? I'm thinking that this is the type of flower that kind of comes up out of a bush. Do you know what I mean? Where the leaves don't necessarily correspond with the flowers. There can be stems with all leaves, and there can be stems with just a flower, all mixed in the same bush. Like daylilies are kind of like that, but I'm not making those type of long skinny leaves, but just there's other things. Well, like a hosta. It's got kind of fat, bigger leaves and a bush down below. And then it has some long stalks that have the thing. I'm bringing a leaf this way. Do a couple more like that. It's very nice out. I mean, it's just hard to picture that we were having literally feet of snow falling a week ago, and now you can go out with just a sweater or a jacket, and it's sunny, and it's just so nice. So nice, so nice. Okay, I'm liking that. Now, I wasn't nuts about these, so I'm going to try this brush and see where I can get with it. So narrow, and then narrow, and then kind of a squiggle. Narrow, squiggle. I like those better. I wouldn't say it's my favorite leaves, but it's okay. These leaves don't look much different in color than the ones that had been mixed with the phthalo, do they? They do show up a little bit more on the blue. A lot more. I'm going to add a few. If you hear a noise, I don't know if you can, but it sounds to me like they're bringing a tree down or something. It's like a lot of chainsaw sounds. Painting with the acrylic on top of the acrylic, although there is gesso here, the flowers are, or the leaves are happening a lot easier for me. A little bit more. Okay. All right. I want one more color of green. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add this cadmium yellow medium hue, and I'm going to add it to the green that I was just using. Just a little. And I'm going to get that mixed up. The green is strong, but so is the yellow. And I'm kind of looking for more of a spring green or a yellow green. All right, we'll stick with the little ones and see where we go with this. One of the things I have ready at the ready is some cotton buds. So if you're going to be getting together some supplies, you may want to grab some cotton buds. All right. I like that. Now I think I need these coming down a tiny bit more. A couple of these at the bottom. Some kind of bending over leaves. Okay. A couple more. This is when I wish I could see what you see, because this is when I'm almost just too close to the work, and I don't always get an accurate picture of what's going on. But so far, I feel like we're doing okay. All right. A little more. I've just got a tiny bit more of this paint. I'm just going to finish up what's on the brush. Okay. Rinse that puppy out. Now, I want the narrowest brush, which I think is this one. I think this just came in a kit or something. It doesn't have a number. And I want to start working on a few stems, particularly these stems. So what I'm going to do, I've got this plain green here, and I think I'm going to add, this is the cadmium yellow light, and I'm just going to add some of this to my palette. And I'm going to, I think I'm going to use a bigger brush for mixing, like this square brush. And I'm going to just take some of this, and just a touch of this. Because I want it really quite light. I don't think I'm too far off of the color I just had, but that's fine. All right, now I'm going to wet this brush, dab it off, and I'm just going to try to not waste that paint. It can go in the drink. And to this, I am going to add a little bit of water, just with my mister, and I'm going to give it 2 squirts, not a lot. And mix that in, because I want to be able to make some stems, and I want the paint to be willing to flow a little bit. So what's the ratio? You should never add more than 25% water to your acrylics, because you risk the binding. You're gonna like water down the binding, and your paint could peel off. All right, so stem. Good. They really should go right off the page. These are going to be those wisteria kind of flowers. I think it's wisteria. If I'm thinking wrong, let me know in the comments. But I think they're the ones that kind of dangle down. Have one go kind of off the page this way. Maybe come back over here. I think when things run off the page, it can be interest and movement to your piece. That's how it feels to me. What are you thinking? What I'm doing right now is pretty much just trying to grab any of the leaves that are over here, because this is not going to be as long. I want the orange flowers to come up more on this side. And I want the wisteria kind to be more on that side, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know. It's the best plans, mice and men. All right. One more. I'm just giving these a couple of leaves that don't have really much in the way of leaves. Adding a few more. because the dark area really didn't get a lot. All right, let's see where this takes us. Now, I think for the orange flowers, I'm going to add the orange flowers first and then add the stems to that. I had 2 brushes here to rinse out, so I'm sorry I'm taking a little bit longer. All right, now, orange flowers, more low to high, and these guys, more flowers concentrated higher and then coming down lower. That was my thought. So orange flowers lower over here. All right, let's get that orange going. And this one is called Cadmium Orange Hue. Pretty. I'm going to go ahead and get the cadmium red out just to get it out on my palette. Now maybe that looks really red to you. To me it looks orange. Like a dark orange, but orange all the same to me. And that could just be my eyes. I don't know. All right. Now, some pretty flowers. I'm just thinking here, how do I want to do? Okay, this is this number 2 round, this long Liquitex. I love this big brush. I'm thinking, I said what? This is going to be, now what did I say? Taller orange here, shorter orange here. All right. I'm going to start with the darker. I didn't wet my brush, but it's a small brush. So I don't think it's going to capture a whole lot. All right. I think I'm going to make the flower petals kind of like long and skinny. So when I do that, I like to not put them right next to each other to start with, but maybe just put 3 or so, and then I can join them up with each other. But it kind of gives me a guideline, like, Julie, you need to go between here and here, or between there and there. Now this is supposed to be, I think, I don't want to speak out. I think it's supposed to be opaque. It is. Now, does that look opaque to you? It is probably just the way the pigment is, and that this is as opaque of this pigment as you can get. I believe that. But what do you think? Can you see how not starting with the flower petals together has made it easier for me to space them out? And we'll have a lower one here. I'll probably have to put a second coat on these. So if you are liking this tutorial, or this, really it's more of a paint along, please consider hitting the like button. I am a newer channel. I'll be a year in March, and I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm at about 300 and maybe 60, something like that, as of today. And we're at the end of November. I want to say it's the 28th. But if you would be so kind as to subscribe, it helps me so much. YouTube likes 1,000 subscribers, but so do other things. Sometimes, you know, if I would decide that I wanted to have some affiliate links, because if you're going to buy the product anyway, without costing you more, I can think about affiliate links. But most of those places, before they'll grant you that. They want you to have, so many subscribers. So we did get our community tab. YouTube changed their requirements for that. I'm so glad they did. I understand though, if you're watching on a smart TV or some of the tablets, they never show the community tab. I can see the community tab on my phone. My phone is an Android. And I can also see the community tab on my laptop. When I watch on the television though, no, I don't see it. That's for sure. Okay, starting with some orange up here. I said up here, but it's really more over here. And then we're going to need to put some flowers, the orange ones that are not necessarily facing straight at us. I think I'll put one of those in right while it's on my mind. We can put one of those over here. And this makes it look like the flower is a little more laid back instead of standing right up looking at us. Let's put another one of those in. I can still hear those chainsaws. As I say, there's a lot of construction going on around me, not right in my complex, but certainly around my complex. It's all good. Okay. Uh-oh, wrong side. That's all right. This was supposed to be the lower flowers. It's okay. These will go up higher. Okay, we need some higher up here. So why was I so worked up about a community page? Well, we can communicate with each other on a community page and we don't have to leave YouTube, which I like a lot, because I feel like once you have somebody click away from YouTube, they may forget to come back. There's a lot of notifications and a lot of distractions. Not that they're bad, but I'm all about YouTube and I want people to stay here. Does that sound selfish? It probably is. I'm making another one of those sideways flowers. Like that. I think we need one up high here. I could do another at an angle. Yep. Okay. I like that. Maybe I'll have one coming off the page here. All right. I'm going to see if I can just put another coat quick on these that are in the blue and just so transparent. Since I'm not planning where I'm putting the paint, but I'm putting it where it already is, that usually for me goes a little bit faster. I know I'm a slowpoke. I just am. I'm slow with everything. I'm slow walking. I'm slow, well, maybe not always talking, but walking and shopping and just anything. And it doesn't feel slow to me. But even when I watch my own videos in editing, I can see, I tell myself, come on, hurry up. But I can only go so fast when I've got the brush in my hand. These are, thank you for your patience, because these are looking, even though they're still not what I would call opaque, they are just coming out brighter, more standing out. I hate everyone but this one. If I did this one once or twice already, it doesn't look like it to me. I do lose track at times. You're probably thinking, no kidding. I don't do it on purpose. All right. Oh, this one. All right. She says that and then she goes back and does more. As they dry, they become more transparent. That is just the nature of these paints, of acrylics. Not especially this brand, but truly just acrylics. I think that's coat number 3 on that one. All right. I mean, look at this one. You can barely see it. Okay, so I'm not going to clean my brush. But do I need to do this yet? I better clean it, because the next step, I am going to get those cotton buds going for the wisterias that are hanging. And I think I'm going to turn my page around. And I'm going to work this way. Oh no, the light is coming. Well, I'll work fast if I can. All right, cotton bud, going into the orange. And I'm going to start adding, so not so in there. Okay, so here we go. And it's just, I'm going to bring it closer. Just kind of a dotty thing. Now, if you say these don't look like wisteria, to tell you the truth, I don't know if I've ever seen one in my life. I'm sure I've seen it in magazines, but I didn't know what I was looking at. This almost looks to me like a dandelion yellow. I like it. The page is bouncing. I don't really care. What do you think? Now, come on, you can do this. Cotton bud and just dab, 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 dab. If that light comes shooting across, I am going to get up and close that blind so that we can still see. Because I saw the effect on a video when it does that, and it's pretty overwhelming, but it also tells me I've been at this for a while, and I'm sorry. I know I just had a really long video, and here comes another one. But, you know, you can speed it up or do what you want. You know, you can, if you don't know, there's like a bolt, or maybe like a, oh, what would you call it? Like a gear picture. And it's usually in a corner, and it's usually not too in your face. But if you click on it, you have the option of different speeds. I know that some of the artists that I follow speed things up for you. I don't know how to do it yet in my editing, or as people say, post-production. But I just don't know how. I'm sorry. I'm learning, though. I'm learning a lot of stuff, but that's not one I've caught on to yet. If you've noticed that I'm making what they call customized thumbnails, let me know in the comments that that's something that you saw. So I'm bringing the fantasy flowers. I'm afraid to call them wisteria. I could be really taking a horticultural person's breath away every time I say it. I like the orange with the blue. Before I moved to where I'm at right now, I was in the Detroit area, and the Detroit Tigers, that was their colors, were orange and blue. Well, still are. Make it sound like the team's gone, but oh no. What are you thinking? Tell me in the comments. Do you think I'm in an ugly phase? I don't, not yet. But again, when I go to edit this, I may think, oh yeah, you were, Julie. Oh yeah, you were. You were in the ugly phase. I hope not. Okay, we've almost got these guys on their first coat done. But the orange, and it might be the amount that I'm using on this cotton bud, but to me, it's covering better than the other colors that I've used so far. If you have a color that really wants to be transparent and you wish it wasn't, you can add titanium white. Now you'll change the color somewhat, but if you can't see it anyway, that's one thing you can do. I realize I have the stem I'm working on go way down there. We're just gonna leave it. It's fine. Look at this. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I like this. I mean, seriously. And it's not just, well, you know, it's your painting. Of course you like it. Oh, no. I'll tell you, there's one in here that I almost fixed it. And then I thought, no, because when I do a flip through, that's not very genuine. I'm just leaving it. But it is not one of my favorites. And I said so. I sure did. I'm just going to add a little touch. Maybe I'll do it over here. Just a little. Like that. Okay. I'm turning it around. Yep. Looking good. Throwing that away. That cotton, but it's starting to shed. All right. Now, sort of the same technique. Grabbing another cotton bud. I'm going to put centers in these orange flowers with this yellow. And this is the cadmium yellow light. So I'm just going to be adding really simple, and I want them kind of textury, painterly. Whoops. Oh, dropped it in the orange. Well, that's the way it goes. I don't want them to look like stomp, stomp, stomp like the other flowers, but I do want them just to look kind of not like exact little round circles. But I'm dragging the cotton bud around a little bit. Get kind of painterly strokes in there. Did I get them all? Nope. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. Hey, that brightened things up a bit, didn't it? Okay, throwing that one away. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now, so far, I'm liking this just fine. I'm going to add more to these wisteria guys. I don't want the exact yellow of that. I don't want to add that orangey color that I have. So what am I going to do? Make up your mind, Julie, huh? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to even mix it with a cotton bud. I'm going to just grab some of this yellow and add it to the orange right here. And lighten it up. I'm liking that, but I'm going to add a little white. I'm going to add just a touch of the white. Did I put my thumb? Julie. There. Now I've got phthalo blue all over my white lid. Dummy. It's all right. Yep. Okay. Now, I'm just going to sort of hit the centers, and I don't know that I'm going to hit every one, and I know I'm not going to hit every one the same, because I want them to look like they're kind of heading in different directions. They're not all looking at us. So I'm just adding, and some I may not put any at all, because I want that to kind of look like we're maybe seeing the back of it. Because, you know, these things are going to be heading in every sort of a direction. So what you making for supper? I was thinking of chicken soup, but based on the sun, it may be a little late for me to start that. So, I don't know. I've got food, lots of food. But I do want to cook up some vegetables. So even though I don't make soup, I do want to cook up some of the vegetables that I had. I was at Aldi, you know, guys, that I shop at Aldi. Not always, but I mean, I do regularly. And they had the baby portobello mushrooms, and they were less expensive than just the regular white mushrooms. And they just look, I don't know, perkier, fresher, something. So I grabbed those instead, and I just sliced them up and used them like I used the regular white ones. Delicious. I like portobellos. But I've had the big ones where you marinate them and then you cook them on a grill, and then you put it right in a hamburger bun, and it is absolutely delicious. I like that. Um, but this is obviously a whole different ball game. There, I like that. You know what? I know I said I wouldn't do them all, but I've got just a little nest of them right there where they're not done. I don't mind some of them not done, but not just in a big cluster. Okay, I think that's better. And I don't think that the yellow looks the same as on these guys. All right. What do you say? Are you liking it? So far I am. Okay, now I would like to add some stems now here and there with the orange guys. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that yellowy green again with a little water because it is drying. Get the brush I had already used. Yep. And I'm just going to add some. Like this one. And maybe this one, but it can just kind of tuck behind some leaves. And maybe here. And again, this one can tuck behind some leaves. I don't want them to look like they're just flying in space. But I think to add some stems will kind of ground even the leaves. This one can go behind. But see, like this leaf. Now that leaf I can add. That leaf can have a stem. And there can be a stem there. This can have a stem. And that can be a stem that goes behind. Oop. There. Do I have anything that's just out in outer space? See, this one can go behind. I think that's good. I don't think I've got anything now that just looks like it's flying and doesn't have a home. Add a stem there, a stem there. Why not? Maybe add a little stem here. All right. I definitely like that better. Okay. I almost feel like I need a color or something that we haven't used yet, but I wouldn't even know where to begin. I do like that blue. All right, here's what I'm going to do. This could be really a disaster. I'm going to grab some green, and I'm going to grab some of this orange and see if it makes kind of a brown. Theoretically, it should, but you just don't always know. But yes, I'm getting a brown. Good. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this as little stamens in these. How's that look to you? And I like that I'm still using paint that was on my palette. And I like the change up of color again. Did I get them all? I think this one could use a little more. Okay. All right, I like that. All right, I think I'm going to go even more rogue. I've got some, this is that phthalo blue with green in the middle. I'm going to just give it a couple shots of water because on the edge of it, there's just plain blue. It might be too dry, but maybe not. I'm going to see if I can, well, it got all over my hands. See if I can just get some of this blue. This has gotten awfully watery, but we're going to take a chance. Do as I say, not as I do. But no, some of the little clumpities of paint did reactivate, and so now it's not like soup. All right, now I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to add a little of this to those wisterias. Not all of them. And I'm trying to go just in the yellow. Oh, that one, Miss Brown. I'll go back. I'm sure that's just thrilling to you. I backtrack. But, you know, this is the reality. We don't create these paintings in a 10 minutes time. It's impossible. This is the real deal. A little more. Oh. Oh yeah, that was a wisteria. Or whatever these are. All right, I like that. I can see that. Oh, here comes the sun. All right. Good? Yeah. All right. I'm going to get rid of the sun. I want you to be able to see. Oh, and of course it's going to go behind a cloud. All right. There go the blinds. Now the camera's going to go light and then dark, and it's going to try to figure this out, but we'll be okay. Oh, for crying out loud. There. Okay. Now, turn it around. This is busy, but I'm okay with it. I like it. All right, I think I'm going to grab some Poscas, grab a green, and I'm just going to give some of these leaves a bit of definition. Yep. Yep, I like that. Okay, well, we've got another acrylic done. Let's get a pen and give it a sign. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found it colorful. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye now.